a couple of times on some trainings where he's had to go deal with a business side of the issue. I try to handle a lot of the things when he's doing that, but sometimes I just need him. So, sometimes that has to happen. So yeah, so I definitely have it where I just have one day or a few hours in that day that I actually do content for like a month. And that's what I do. So we're going to share more of that here in just a moment. So
really going to bring up, you guys, in the scheduling, like your content, you want to take the time to do it. And if it's a great day, and sometimes you can stage it, like you set an hour aside for content creation. You create as much content as you can. You don't need to use it all that day. You guys, I created I had a really cool idea. And you guys, I am not married to the outcome. I'm married to the process. Right? The process. So I went and created a bunch of content on an idea that I got, right? And I'm sharing it on my Instagram. So those of you that follow my Instagram, you're seeing the results of that. And I did it in one day. Tanya and I went out on the beach. I went and recorded a bunch of different segments. We're going to do it again on Monday. Monday is a content day for us. And we're going to get a lot of stuff that will be used down the road. And you're constantly building that stuff up there. So, you're taking the pictures, we're staging things. I did a fun thing
we'll get into all that in just a moment, babe. I want to.
Guys, this is so good for you all. Okay, go ahead.
I want to share. We're going to go back into the Eddie household, and Dina is going to be sharing a pairing this time with us. So I'm excited to see what she has to offer here. I know it's a few minutes early, but if she is ready, we can take over. I don't know, Dina, if you're ready.
I'm ready. Yes.
Or we can just.
I'm ready.
What do you got for us?
Well, today I cooked. When you live in Florida, you eat a lot of seafood, and I love vegetables and I love seafood. So you can hear me fine, right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So I made cauliflower fried rice with curried shrimp.
Ooh, yum. That sounds delicious.
So show my picture a little bit better. So I used frozen cauliflower rice, and I used white rice. Beautiful shrimp. I like to leave the tails on. It just gives a little better color in the dish. And the green onions and a piece of lime just for color presentation. Super fast, super easy. In fact, I've almost cooked it too fast. So I'm pairing it today. Yes, thank you. I'm pairing it today with the More Than Muse 2016 Sauv Blanc, the last one I have.
Yum.
Okay, so
that's a good choice.
Yes. And I decided to only pair it with the white. I looked at the reds and I just didn't want to pair it with the red because in my mind, shrimp and the white rice and the curry powder, I wanted the white with it. So we're going to taste this and see what happens. Finale Pinot Noir, of course.
Of course. When in doubt, go Pinot.
It goes with everything.
Pinot. That is the expression.
Right? When in doubt. When in doubt. So we're going to try this. How's that? Oh. Smells wonderful. A little bit without it. Have a shrimp. So it has almonds in it, and I toasted the almonds. Oh my, I love that. That little crunch.
That sounds really good. Yeah. You're making me hungry. I haven't eaten yet today. So.
Come on over.
Had my snaps, if that counts as food.
Yeah. So it has curry powder in it. And I think I taste the curry powder, and the green onions, the scallions, and it pulls that out.
Yeah.
It's one of those dishes you just have to eat more and drink more to be sure.
I love those kind. I love those kind. Brielle, will you share her link in the chat, please? If you don't mind. And then you guys can head on over there and give her some love and check out her recipe. That sounds really, really good. I know as we age, it's really nice to have all that protein and protein of the shrimp, all the vegetables. Win for me. Yeah. So Brielle just posted that in the chat, guys. So you can head over and grab her recipe. Definitely.
Is that a green lemon?
That green lemon is called a lime. We grow them here in Florida. You don't have to eat that.
I love to squeeze a lime or a little seafood. Yeah, that's what you did. Yeah, definitely. That looks so yummy, Dina.
Yeah, it has garlic in it. It has the curry powder, chopped onions, the scallions. I have the green. I cooked the white part of the scallions first, and then I sprinkled the green on top for garnish, of course. Toasted the almonds. It's got ginger in it and some garlic, white rice, cauliflower rice, and you can also garnish it with sliced Persian cucumbers or mango chutney, plain yogurt, or lime wedges. I picked lime wedges because I had limes. I hope you enjoy it.
Delicious. Sounds delicious, you guys. So her link is in the chat. So you guys can head over and check her out. And thank you for sharing. I really appreciate that, you guys. I love.
Thank you.
Be passionate about as well. So anyway, thanks for sharing your home again with us this week. Yeah, you got that. Yum yum. Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. All right, guys, we are going to go back to talking about social media content. And I find this to be pretty relevant over more than one application. So if we're talking about, if you guys don't know, I'm a planner, I plan everything out. But I'm talking more about just social media. I'm talking more about YouTube. I'm also talking about Instagram, Facebook. So I'm talking about those as well. So when we're planning out content, like Rory said, we'll have a day that we will plan out our content for that month or whatever. And it's just, I'm going to tell you guys a secret. When I first started, I wanted to grow an audience. And so I did a challenge. I did a 30-day challenge of little videos every single day. And that just shot up my my audience very quickly. People want to come, people really have replaced YouTube with a lot of TV. And so they want to come into a place where they're going to upload, you're going to upload regularly and consistently on a consistent basis. And so I'm going to challenge you guys that first off is just to do little clips, and I'm talking under 10 minutes, 10 minutes or under, just little videos of, introducing yourself and getting or sharing something. And it really, truthfully, it needs to be some content of your personal life as well as your other. Okay. If it's just a channel where people think you're just trying to sell to them, you're going to lose your audience. So you want to make sure you have other content, not just, other things, not just what we're selling. And so that's why, like I said, I'm including my travel, but my travel is also, in case you guys didn't know, the reason I'm able to do this is because I work for myself and I can work wherever I want. It's all a plug for what I do, right? This is all what I do. So, but I believe so much in being real and genuine and not being fake at all because people, you can get through that. And I think that helps people to resonate with you and want to join and be a part of the team and join and be a part of things. So anyway, so I'm going to tell you guys what I do. So it's called batch content processing when you're doing it in more than one in a day. And so what I suggest before you are ready to film, you have to have a few things going on for you. So I recommend always having like a little notebook or something by your bed, by your work, wherever you are. When you come up with an idea, you should write it down. Have a running list of ideas that come and go into your brain. And Rory, feel free to, if you want to add anything to this, feel free. But you should have a running list of ideas that come into your brain that you just write them all down, right? So that's the first thing is you have to come with the ideas for your content, whatever it is. And again, just write it all down. So next up, after you have the content ideas, you need to figure out, you guys, this is what helps you be very quick. what clips do you want for that idea? So then you're going to take the idea, and when you have a time to schedule all this, you're going to sit down. Here's the idea. What clips do I want for that idea? All right, and this is going to help you to quickly produce what you want to produce, right? So what clips do you want for the idea? What talking points do you want for the idea? Okay, so you're really planning out ahead of time what you're going to sit down and film, and what you're going to do, or what you're going to share, or whatever. So here's the idea points for it. This is what I want to share. So now you have that idea for that particular video, and you're going to do that with as many videos as you have time for in that day. Okay, so then that's how you're going to start it with. Then let me go to my list. Once you have the ideas, and you guys, this is what's funny. It's called a flow state. I mean, Rory, you're going to laugh at me, but that's what it's called. It's called the flow state. When you're in the flow and you're in your producing mode, you're going to get into that flow state of producing your videos, right? It's called production flow. So you're going to be in that state, and you're just going to go from one to the next, Maybe change your shirt if you're showing your face. I always, and then just change your clothes a couple times, but go from one to the next, and make sure that it's in a time where you cannot have any distractions, so that you can just get them out. Now the biggest thing is always going to be editing, which is why I share the easy editing stuff, you guys. And again, I will tell you guys with the editing. I think I'm getting ahead of myself. No, I did that. I talked about talking points and the different scenes you want to capture, different things. Okay, perfect. So that's the breakdown, then the production flow, and then so you're going to do your content, have your list with you, make sure you're going through your ideas, whatever video, refresh yourself before you do that video. And again, you guys, we're talking about 10-minute videos to start with. Just start with a smaller, shorter video, and then from there you can go up. I've done videos that were up to 2 hours before with other content, with crafting and making wreaths and different things like that. So that was a different kind of a video for what we're doing. So make sure that you're in a good frame of mind, because you guys, your mood or personality comes across on those videos 100%. And then make sure you're in no distraction. Mute your phone to put on distraction free. Okay, so the next thing would be editing. So I find whenever you make a mistake in a video, the best thing is to stop your video and then restart it, so that when you're editing that segment, when you stopped and started, there's something there that you need to edit. It cuts your editing down more than half, like 3/4. Instead of watching the whole video, to like clip a little part out here or there if you have a mistake, because especially you guys, you're going to make mistakes at first when you've never done video before. And talking to a camera and you're talking to a make-believe friend, right? Because you can't even see yourself if you're doing it right. Because if you're looking at the angle of the camera, you're looking at where the camera is recording you. You're not looking at the screen. So it takes some practice to get used to it. So just make sure that you stop a video and restart it if you want but if you want to have just there's a tiny little thing that you want to take out, then that's what you do. Okay, so that's just a huge tip. And one take wonders. And then once you have your editing and you have your video saved onto your phone, that's when I recommend doing your uploading, and I recommend doing that at night. You can upload more than one at a time if you want. You can schedule them up. I do at night. Usually I just set them to go up at night, and then it happens overnight while your phone is, you're sleeping and your phone's, hopefully plugged in charging. And it can just go through your exporting. Whenever you have scheduled time for it, whatever that day is, that's when you can go in and do all the editing, all the other touches. You can add in your thumbnails, your descriptions, your hashtags. You can add it to your playlists. You can do all that, and then you can schedule them all. And as you saw before, when you pull it up to schedule, it shows you the calendar so that you can map out your days about when you want to do it. I do recommend having a small little, small little monthly calendar. If you guys have, I like a visible thing. So I have a visible little calendar that I use, that I mark all my videos, or as you guys can see, I have my Instagram and my YouTube. So I just have both. I have video for Instagram, little shorts for YouTube, or thumbnails or uploads for YouTube. For Instagram. So I have both of them to make sure that I'm sharing out my content in another area. Content sharing, you have to keep searching for your market, right? Just like anything, like Rory says, we're marketers. That's what we do. And that's what you're trying to do, is you're trying to reach out and create your market, your content. You're trying to find your people, and people that want to watch and share in your content. So those are some things that I definitely recommend that help you minimize, because people, like I said, you guys can take so much time to get ready to do something or to do something, and you lose the focus of what's really making you money right now, which is marketing. So, just make sure that you guys are having that, you're putting it in where you can. Like, for instance, I usually do my content stuff on Sundays or Saturday evenings when I'm done working for the week. That's usually when I do it, because that's when I'm not focusing on work. So that's usually, we're traveling right now. Rory said Monday we're actually doing some content. But that's because we're traveling right now. So we took a little bit of time off because, tomorrow's our anniversary. So we're taking a little extra time off on Monday to kind of celebrate that. Otherwise, we wouldn't be doing that. But yeah, so that's just taking the time that you need. So we're going to go out. I'm going to go record a bunch of content from like the island. I'm going to go record different things. And you guys, I'm going to share my snaps. I'm going to share some wine. I'm going to share some of the things that we have. And that's part of that, it's a plug-in, right? So different ideas for your content. I definitely recommend just having a brainstorm, and just like a brainstorm session. And you guys, it's so important to make videos that you want to watch, because if you want to watch it, then somebody else is going to watch it. So when I started making videos, nobody my age was making videos for what I wanted. There's all these young girls doing it, but there was no mothers that had teenage kids that were going through life and how they handled things. There's nothing like that. And so now I'm a grandmother, and there's not a ton of video people that make like vlogs and of their life that are grandmothers, and I definitely don't know many that are grandmothers and travel. So, there's a niche for that. And I know that. And so I'm going to plug into that. So I'm going to have Rory come on. Rory, come on with me for a minute. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
I hear you.
There you go. Okay, so we're talking about ideas for social media marketing for different videos. So what I do is I just brainstorm out different categories that I would want to share in. And here's what I'm going to tell you my categories. Ready? I will do outdoors. I'll do hobbies, travel, goals, seasonal, and then family. Different, and then that's pretty much the areas where I do it in. And then those particular ideas, I'm going to do a list of different video ideas in each of those categories, right? So that as I'm making content and as I'm creating different things, I have a list of ideas to pull from. And a lot of, you saw like the outdoors, I had the walk on the beach, the sunset, sunrise, that was one of them. Different walks in nature, different pool shots, different things from the pools, different shopping, going out to dinners, sharing those experiences. Rory, you did a great one with your when he was grilling, your video that you did.
I love doing those ones. And sometimes it's the simple things that make a difference. So we don't really have this is going to knock it out of the park. What we do have is tenacity and grit. So you keep coming up with new ways and put things out there, and it's distasteful. You want to do something that you would be happy to see, go with that. And if you don't want to see it, don't share it. There's things that you don't want to get shock and awe. You don't want to be a shock and awe. You want to make it a feel good. You want to make sure it's part of your brand of who you are and what you're putting out there. Okay. So one of the things we talk about a lot in like your social media is if you're posting it, people are going to see it and it's out there forever. And if you're going to post, and you guys, we are so big on the power of manifesting and asking God for it and putting good vibes out there. That's in everything. So when I go and the written word is super powerful and the verbal words powerful. And then when you show it in a video and you're using expressions and putting it with words and putting it with vocalizing, you're taking advantage of all sorts of mediums. And so you want to be putting goodness out always. Goodness out is going to bring in goodness in. Greatness out will bring greatness in. Awesomeness out brings awesomeness in. So you guys, it's okay to not share your life on social media. I mean the aspects of it. Show the nice stuff. It's okay not to if you have a breakup with a boyfriend, you don't need to share it with the world. We all know what it's
No.
like. You don't need to
Really
share that.
don't.
And what it does is it puts
Really
you in a
don't.
brand of someone that's, it's not appeasing, believe it or not. You guys ever see Coca-Cola advertise? I'm going to just look at this, look at examples from big companies. We're marketers, right? And individually, we might feel small. Together as a community, we're big. You guys see Coca-Cola running ads about people break up? Heck no. Heck no. Why? They don't want to be associated with a breakup. We all know what those feelings are like. So if you want a breakup, do you want to reach for a Coke? No. You want a Coke for happiness, right? You want happiness. You want to be associated with happy, with accomplishing things, and I know some people use it like they just want to share their whole life because there's things going on. Think about it. You are a brand. We are all marketers. We are all brand. So I like to look at things. You guys, again, if you're on my Instagram, you'll see them. I put them out there. I put them out on Facebook when I share it over there. Sometimes I use a lot of the posting things. I schedule things out. So I look like I'm very active. I'm going to say one thing and I'm going to come back to content. I do not try to get like, guys, you know what? If you want to set aside some time to go through social media and spend an hour or 2 hours of your life that you'll never get back, schedule it. Schedule it. Saturday
That's
night,
how I do it too. I
Sunday
schedule
morning.
everything.
Like Tanya, I noticed sometimes she'll go check out things, poolside maybe. Hey, we're on bubblegum time, right? And I'd rather, there's times when I'm listening to a book. I do a lot of audiobooks. And I want to have my mind in somewhere great. So I'm closing my eyes. I'm meditating while I'm listening to the words. I don't need to interfere with something else. But I will check social media out on a set time, right? A set time. And usually I'm just like horrified what people will put out there. But I'm looking for other ideas, see what things are people are responding to. And you got to be really careful because 1 hour can turn into 5 hours. You can lose a whole night's worth of sleep because your brain is literally being interacted with, and if you're at all ADHD, social media is the worst place to go spend your time. You'll bounce around. There's things to bounce around with, and it doesn't pay you money. So what I do, I have social media time, and I go post my ads. And you'll notice a lot of times I use other apps. I don't even go in the actual application itself because I don't want to go down the rabbit hole. But I go post the ads, I get in, I get out. I get in, I get out. But I do spend an hour here and there, and it's scheduled where I go and comment on other people's posts, go see what you guys are doing, go do all that. And I spend an hour and I get out of it. Right? I get out of it. And Tanya will even watch me. I'll put an alarm on because I'll get lost. Because that's how my brain will get lost in that stuff. Like when I go do research, I dive in deep. With social media will drag me in. So I set an alarm to wake me up, or Tanya will be like, hey, Rory, you've been in there for a while. I'm like, oh my gosh, thanks, babe. You got to get out of the hole.
You
That
do.
being
It sucks
said,
you in, guys. It sucks you in. And that's why I actually hate it because you're so distracted, you don't understand. You don't even realize that you just lost 5 hours of your life that you cannot get back. And then your brain feels like mush. Like I'm promising you this.
The thing is that's why we want to put stuff out there is people are scrolling and looking. And a lot of times when people are spending their time in social media, it's because they're not happy where they're at. So you want to be putting out happy vibes, good things, motivational stuff. That's what people need in their life, not how to get divorced in 5 easy steps. None of this easy, I call it clickbait stuff. You guys positive because it comes back around. And so I'm going to go over like the content thing. One of the things I love, first of all, I'm a man and I like cooking meat on a barbecue or on a fire or on a pit or on open charcoal, right? Like on a rack above charcoal. And so I'll record that, the sizzle of the meat, and it gets a lot of views, guys.
It does. He gets a lot of views and things like that.
And then,
However, that's not more for me. That's not something I would watch, but that's something he loves. And guess what? He gets a lot of guys watching it and oh yeah, like
yes, stuff. I can taste it with you.
Almost like a man are funny that way.
But I like that. I'm out there anyway. Like I'm literally hovering over the meat cooking. I just take my phone out and hold it really still and I get 30-second spots. I only go for 30 seconds. Why? Because that works on Instagram. It works on anything else. And over again, great. But 30 seconds of watching meat cook that makes me happy no matter what I'm doing. It makes me hungry and happy. and hunger leads to eating food, which then makes us happy. I also we're on the beaches a lot. I wish I would have been doing this all along. Those are the best ideas. The ones you wish you would have done all along are the ones that are great ideas. I just go and record 30 seconds, holding my phone still, watching the waves come in, hearing the ocean, right? And then I post those throughout the weeks, and those are getting a lot of attention. And I just put stop your scroll, enjoy 30 seconds of vitamin C, SEA, or something like that. I change it up every time. And here, enjoy a sunrise and 30 seconds of vitamin C. That's when I put out. I think I did that this morning or yesterday, whatever. And I record them all back to back to back, different times a day, and I release them when I need content. What I do with that is you want to have a steady content roll, but you can have backups, right? I know Tanya she taught me this. She creates things. You're like, well, if I don't know what to post that day and I want to keep it regular, I have backups.
Bless you. Yeah, that's what I was talking about, ideas, guys, because you can also do they're called shorts for YouTube. That's what Rory's talking about. You can do them on Instagram, but you can also do them on YouTube, but they're just little shorts. That's what they're posted as. And those are pretty awesome too. And you can start watching those. It's just like you start watching TikTok videos. Like, I don't watch TikTok, but I'm assuming this is what happens. When you watch a TikTok video, you can just scroll the next, scroll the next, scroll the next. Well, you can do that on YouTube as well, or Instagram. So you have to be careful. You set an alarm if you're on your social media for sure. That's what I'm talking about. That's one category, is outdoors. Another one I wanted to touch base on is travel. You guys, you have no idea how many people have asked me how I live out of a suitcase. Like, how do you do that? And in our real life, like just our regular life, people come up, my friends or family, how do you live out of a suitcase? We literally do, guys. We have 2 suitcases and a backpack, and that's what we live out of everywhere. That's what we do. So, you know what, there's certain things like that. And then by sharing that, guess what we can also plug? Savings Highway Global. There's everything that we do, we can share that too. It's also a way to share our PBS, our blog, because that is what allows us to be able to do this. Seasonal videos do really well as well, guys. Different things around the holidays. On YouTube, they have what's called a Vlogmas, which is obviously for Christmas and different things that you do. And also, you guys, people are interested in how other people live and celebrate different things. So those do really well. On Valentine's, you have St. Patrick's Day coming up here in a little bit. Easter, the week of Easter, like those are sharing different opportunities. And when you're sharing meals and different foods with that, you can share your wine. You can share that as well. Any of your snaps at any time, guys. I share those throughout lots of videos. Like, I love my snaps and what I do. I love my tune. I share different things like that all the time as well, constantly sharing.
An example of a video you could do right now. This is how easy they are. And once you guys know how it is, once you get your brain trained on a path or a pattern, you'll start coming up with more and more ideas. And you guys, I don't mind being cheesy. I don't. And if that's not your personality, don't do it. Right? I'm going to tell you, some people are super serious, and that's actually funny for some of us. Like, I'll watch people and I'm going, that is almost funny how serious they are. And be yourself as much as possible. Be the best self out there, right? It's okay to put the best self out there. We're striving for that pattern, right? And it's also, we want to draw people's attention to what we're marketing always, but not in their face. Be tactful, right?
That's
so
right.
I'll put stuff out there about the state.
You want to do the content, excuse me, you want to do the content of like a 90% live and 10% work content. You really want to just kind of have that kind of back and forth. So that's what's recommended anyway. So I've used that rule. But you guys, I've gotten a lot of customers myself, for the wine, for our snaps, for different things, just by sharing videos. So it really does work. It just takes consistency. It's always key. It's consistency.
You guys, she's kicking my butt in the customer account. I'm recruiting all the time, but she's like, oh, I got another customer. I'm like, oh, all right, cool. Like, it works, you guys. But here's the thing. All of us should be doing these things, even in a low volume, right? Do 1 a week, 2 a week, get used to it. It starts with 1. Try to do 1 post a week, 1 video creation a week. Okay, here goes. I'm going to create a video. It'll be under 30 seconds. Ready? I'm not going to create it. Actually, I probably should record it separate. Okay, here, I'll do it right now.
Yeah.
All right, this is our snap. This is Brain Caramel Macchiato. Tastes just like the coffee shop. I'm going to take it right now. Like, there's a score in the back. It's called a snap because this is pretty strong. I can throw it around. I can do whatever I want. It doesn't break open. But the second I break it in half, the goodness is going to ooze right out. I want to consume that, hold it in my mouth for about 10 seconds. And then in about 10 minutes, I'm just going to be happy. Mm. You know what's even better than doing that? 2 in a row. Here's a video. I don't recommend everybody take 2 in a row, by the way. I'll put that in my disclaimer. I'll say,
Yeah, definitely do that because I can't do that. I'll be bouncing off the walls if I do that.
one of these days I've challenged myself, but I got to be like, I don't know, I got to be like in the right hydration or something. Because you guys know I did that spray bottle, the whole bottle of Brain and the light spray. And that, by the way, that gets a lot of views for whatever reason. I think Velveeta fans are doing it. I haven't seen anybody match it. I should do a challenge. By the way, you feel amazing. Oh, I did. And I would recommend it, but I challenge myself, like, I wonder what it would feel like to do a full box back to back to back, 25 in a row. The most I've ever done in a row was 6. And that
So
felt
let me
pretty
know when
good.
you're doing that so I can leave because I don't want to be. That's the day I'm going to be over with my daughter or something. Okay.
No, I mean, that would be a good challenge. A box in a city.
Yeah, no, thank you. I'm good. I'm gonna let you do that on your own, all by yourself when I'm not in the same place as you. You guys, I saw him after he had an amazing amount of energy. I didn't know if I really recognized who he was. So
I did it before the Linda Horn celebration dinner. I did it like about an hour before that, actually. And I was going all night. Like I was just ramped up and it just felt great and no crash. But I just did it. I did it because it was like, oh, I wonder what that would be like. Like no one's done that before. I'll try that. And it also brought awareness to that product. What is that? What are you doing? Where did you get that? Other ideas. Tanya does her slow cookers, right? Her slow cooker meals. She records things and then she has a way where she does fast forward. She makes them a little shorter. You guys, little things like that as a mom or even us guys too, if we're cooking, sharing the people like seeing that. They like different ideas. Most people are eating the same food in a rotation. They're bored. They want something different. See those ideas. You guys cooking, anything food related gets really good views.
as I said at the beginning, the different categories, like I just kind of go for a category, and then I come up with storm, and that's how I come up with content ideas. And honestly, if after I wrote it, even if you don't think it's going to be great, write it down, because maybe the idea isn't the best, but when you start thinking about different things to add into it, it's great. Because you would never think some of the videos that I have done before that have gotten so many views. I was like, I thought that was a terrible idea, but I did it anyway. So it's just really it's sharing anything, and especially you guys. I'm gonna shift over to our Miele product. You guys, I'm going to tell you 100% women like me, women my age, are constantly looking for beauty routines. We're constantly looking for skincare. We're constantly looking for makeup ideas, hair ideas. Like, I'm not kidding you guys. And if you go and look for over 40, over 50, over 60, it's just, there's not very much out there. And then, so they're called morning routines or evening routines. Doing those, it's just, that's all falls into that, like skincare, hair care, self-care kind of habit that everybody, that's another group is self-care. That's another idea of different things to do, because it's so important, and people don't realize how important. I don't think people like us don't realize that. You don't think, oh, people are actually looking for that. There are so many morning routines or evening routines with people sharing skincare and these young girls sharing all this, but for a mature woman, it's not there. And I know for men as well. I'm going to make Rory do one, because his skin has gotten so much better. I've really pushed a skincare routine on him to help him with his he's got sensitive skin. So to help with that as well, and using that Miele. So those are just different things right there, different ideas and things that I know for a fact that I'm looking for it. So I know somebody else is too. So that's another area. The year goals and goals goals and sharing how we do it. That is also another huge drive. That's another big category. Again, particularly in the beginning of the year, but then also quarterly. That's what another trainings that we're going to start to do is start to do quarterly goal trainings and things. But that's just, it's such a big area as well. So I mean, that's why definitely start get yourself categories and then just start having a blank list. I literally will write outdoors on one page, hobbies on another page down, and then just let it go. And then because you'll come up with the best ideas in the shower or when you're walking on the walking in the morning walk, you'll have the best ideas. There's also a notes app in your phone that I have used many times as well to like write ideas down when I'm out and about or I'm at the market and I'm thinking, okay, what I want to make for dinner this week, whatever. I never do that, by the way. I always have a plan ahead of time. I mean, usually I'm looking at the produce, what's fresh to add as a side to it. And then I will come up with an idea and like write it down. So yeah, there's just so many ideas that you guys, and if once you start your brain going, you can come up with so much content. And then what the great thing about this is those content can also become pages, and then the pages you can link your video, right? So keep that in mind too. It's a two-sided thing with your PBS. So you come up with the idea, write your page, then post, link in your video. And if you guys need help with that, we can show that on a training as well as how you tab in. I think Rory showed that many times, but how he shares a video on the PBS file. So you guys, it's definitely worth it. And also those mornings when you get up early and you your mind's open and flowing. I find I'm the most creative in the mornings, and that's when I just start writing everything down. Yeah, definitely. I mean, we could talk about ideas forever because I have a book full of them, literally. But it just depends on the type of video that you want. But I definitely challenge you guys to start doing it and do short videos for an extended amount of time to really grow your base, grow your content out there, and to find people. And you guys support each other too as we're going as well. That's important. I'll let you tag in, Rory. I had to talk quick because he talks fast without interruption.
So I'm gonna go on the idea. So I get my ideas, guys. I'm gonna actually, this is probably a good time to do this. PBS pages, content ideas. I do my best thinking. Like Tanya, when she goes walking, she's like, I can just follow with a notebook. She just gets going. For me, my space is in the shower, and it's something that I trained myself as. I actually had a friend tell me this, a mentor of mine tell me this a long time ago, and then I just made it my pattern. Because like I meditate when I go to sleep, and I meditate when I get up in the morning, and I get my mind ready. But it's a very powerful time before you go to bed, because just so you guys know, your brain doesn't go to sleep, and even if you feel like it does, it doesn't. So whatever you put your brain on when you close your eyes and rest, your brain continues to work out the problems or the issues. So if you're trying to accomplish something or solve something, the best thing to do is meditate on it before you go to sleep, because your brain will continue to work on it and help solve it by the time you wake up. This is a CEO practice, and I was telling the Tanya, because I'm reading more books. I've been reading these books about how these CEOs have done really well, and whether there's a common thread. We talk, we work things out while we go to bed, and when we wake up and we get in the shower, it comes out. So I've learned it from. And I'm talking very successful mentors of mine a long time ago. And it's one of those things I just always do. And, if I'm in the shower for a long time, it's because I'm working more things out. And Tanya, like, you've been in there a long time. And I come out, like, I'm always happy. Now it's in that shower. And it's, for me, that's just it's a space, right? You got the white noise of the shower, and you've got I like it super hot for whatever reason. It's like burning my skin, and I just get into this really good mode. But at night, I ponder the issues, right? Whether it's how do I resolve this with this person, or this page, or this business idea, or how are we going to migrate our finances on this lead thing we want to buy into. This is, I mean, recently, guys, we were looking at a big investment in our lead gen, and I wanted to think it all out. Right, measure it, make sure that was the right move. That's something that I did several nights, right? And when I get up in the morning, go through my morning routine. Routines are very important because it gives you a steady pattern on how to process things. Well, my routine it always involves solving issues, right? Making things better. What can I do better? Or what can I create? And I go in there and I'll be like, okay, I need to do some more PBS pages. What should I write about? I'll start thinking about that at night when I'm meditating before bed, so that when I wake up in the morning, my brain, during those 4 or 5 or 6 hours, whatever I get of sleep, it's 4 or 5 or 6 is what I get. When that's sleeping time, I'm being productive while my body's regenerating, right?
Yeah. And I want to say right here too, Rory, this is why I tell everybody to write your goals for the next day at night before you go to bed. That's why I tell everybody to do this, because it's the same thing. I believe it at night is like we really can solve. So you're going to put out there, ask God for what you want for the next day. I'm going to find a really good person for my team. I'm going to be able to do this, that. Set your top three goals for the day at night. I definitely recommend that. And I do that as well. I close it out. I close out my day. I take my little notebook to my bedside table. Okay, what do I want for tomorrow? Write it down. I do my prayers, go to bed. Like that's what I'm ready. So that's the last few things on my mind, so I can think throughout the day. And you guys, when you put it out there, it finds a way to you. It definitely does.
Manifesting is several parts of things. One way of manifesting is, this is what I want, this is what I desire, and you ask for it. There's another way of manifesting, which is, who needs my help? Where should I be guided to? Where direct me where to help? And I do that as well. And to me, it's a different stage of manifesting, because I want to know, because we all are connected, right? There's a major connection. And it's, to me, it's outside of the, I don't know what you want to call the physical space. And I will get a prompting where I was like, I need to call this person. And if I call them, they are on that, suddenly they're in the same wavelength, they want to get going. That's how things work. So I manifested that aspect as well. Like, who needs my help? Who should I reach out to? And let it come in. And sometimes it's not instant. It's in the morning. In the morning, I'll wake up and I'll have names and like, okay, that's who I go to. These are things I do them so naturally, because it's a pattern of how I do this with you guys, because it's the same patterns that create creativity. We're all creators. Remember that. We are all creators. We create our days, our minutes. We manifest, whether we recognize it or not. We're manifesting what's to come. Positive we are about what we ask for, the more positive we're going to receive it, right? And the more we understand our worth and feel it, know that we deserve it, that we truly deserve it, the better it's going to become. All of these things we're going to keep, we'll come back to. I've been trying to break down the details, what got me to where I am today, to help you guys catch up to that or share that, right? And this creative process is all in the same realm for me. And I know people are like, where did all these words come from that Rory's just typing out? Well, what I need to tell you guys is, especially when we're preparing for a lesson or a training, Tanya and I are both preparing for it ahead of time, which means we're manifesting. We are meditating on it the nights before to get the direction where to go. Before I do anything, like, before I get on stage and give a teaching, I usually have a game plan, and sometimes I know what I'm going to be covering. But you guys, in case you guys didn't know, it's probably 99% of the time I change where I'm prompted differently, because I get more insight before the event, and I get to read stuff, and I love that. And it's because the thing so well. How am I going to present it today that more people will understand it? Those are the things I focus on, and then I get a different way to say it than what I was preparing, but it's the same direction. These are the patterns I live in. And Tanya does very similar stuff. And she'll be like, oh, what do I cover this Saturday? It's going to really hit these people. We talk about, like, how can I help them more? Well, let's think about it, talk about it, brainstorm it. And I watched her go through a process, and then the next day she's got a different path, and she's excited about it because she knows that's the right direction. This is a fun process. It's a creativity process. And those that have been creative, I've been doing copy work for a long time, and sometimes you hit a wall, right? You don't know exactly where to go with it. Meditate at night, you'll get it by the morning. Train your brain, hey, turn on, I need your help, right? And that's productive. So even while I'm sleeping, I'm solving things. I'm marketing, solving problems, right? How to say it better, how to do this better. What should I look for? What's an idea to get people's attention to aim them at this product that I'm going to focus on, whatever that may be. It's just a pattern to get into. Back to you, Big.
That's,
I see your brain going.
no, that's it. That's what I was gonna say. I mean, just it's really not, people have a hard time thinking of ideas, but it's really just brainstorming. It's really just keeping a list. Like if you don't like a notebook, use the notes app on your phones. Wait, do Androids have that, Rory? Do they have a notes app?
Funny. We have awesome note ability. We can even record notes for ourselves and listen to them
Making
back.
sure. iPhone girl. iPhones has it and it's great. So yeah,
I still keep an old school notebook though. I like to write my
yeah.
stuff down.
Yes, I
That's
really
me.
like, yeah, I really like, I'm a visuals. I like to see it as well. So I just really like to see out my months laid out for me, and then, I do my day thing. But yeah, I definitely use Google Calendar for sure on everything else, and appointments, meetings, because that's where I share with Rory. It's how we plan our life, is all through all
I
through
also
that.
want you guys remember we have proven the power of consensus time and time and time again. So when we share ideas, run with them. Even borrow ours. It's if we all went and copied the exact same idea for one day, it's just going to help everybody.
Yeah.
Right? It's okay to share things. You're going to add your own originality to it anyway because you are original. Like the same thing, like putting the stuff out there. We all are reaching different people because we all are going to attract different things in. So like if there's 20,000 of us with a YouTube channel and we're all putting the same type of content out, we're all going to reach different people anyway.
And you'll find that you get the same subscribers. People that when you have a niche and people want to watch that content, people will watch more than one person do it. Like it's what you do. So you can never oversaturate is what I'm trying to say. It doesn't matter if we all do the same thing on YouTube, doesn't matter at all. And if that's the case, then link. It's called a collaboration, a YouTube collaboration, where you all do the same type of video idea, and then you share everyone's links in your description. You can do that plenty. I've done that plenty of times when people have reached out and wanted to do videos with me or things. And I've put down my video up and then I've linked theirs, and it's called a collab. It's a video collab, and it helps open up for other people to find your channel. Wants to do that, that's a great idea.
So I'm gonna just bring up right now, and this is for you crafters out there. And I say this because I don't consider myself a crafter. I'm married to one, and I love what she creates. But you guys, I think we need to invoke crafting into Velveeta and the snaps, especially because I'm looking at these things, and I always arrange them in different things. But I mean, Tanya, you can make wreaths with these.
I knew you were going there. You guys, those would be a great bouquet. I'd rather do a bouquet, like a bouquet of flowers instead of flowers. Have like an arrangement of snaps.
You pick one for the day. I'm telling you, I'm saying, guys. But the thing about it is it's going to draw to a crafty idea. You guys, crafters. By the way, I didn't realize. Well, it's been almost 20 years. 20 years ago was when I first realized that the crafting community is big, huge. And they spend a lot of money on their crafts. They'll spend a grocery bill a month on crafts. Okay, I'm just going to start out with that. And Tanya opened me to this world, and I was just like, this exists, and it's this big. Okay, now remember, things that pertain to me don't pertain to everybody. Things that pertain to you may not pertain to me all the time. We're okay. It's okay. We get along great. But I'm going to say I'm looking at these things. I'm just looking at this, and I saw a little bit of a design on my brains that I put out for the day. That Tanya put out for me for the day. We're devouring the last of our caramel macchiato box on this trip. But I'm gonna just put this out there. Even any idea can be ran with. But the thing about the crafting is here's our brain tree or brain plant, and then you do another one and another one and another one. You create a series. And what happens with the series is if you in YouTube, and I don't know if you've covered this yet, you can do a playlist. So they can see one and then see another one and another one and another one. You covered it, right?
I did cover that, yes.
So the thing about this is you can share all that, but then if you get one viewer, you can lock them in even more, and that helps the algorithms and everything that go inside YouTube to find more people like that to feed you. Because you guys remember this, YouTube is owned by Google. In case anybody didn't know, that was a realization. They paid billions of dollars for it. All right, it started out as a dating site. Like your video, here's, my name is Rory, whatever, video site. Very unsuccessful. YouTube saw the platform, bought it, And look what it's content creation. They see it, right? But remember, they make money off the advertising. Where does Google get all their money? Advertising, right? So
Yeah, that's
they
where they
need
get it.
content to drive the eyeballs to put the ads up. So if you're doing something that's drawing eyeballs and they say, oh, this person drives us eyeballs, this is a crafter that does this and this, they're going to promote you even more. And they already have, guys, they have systems so smart. They've been doing AI stuff for a long, long time. This stuff kicks in and it benefits us too as a partner with them. So when you're creating this content and you do one and you don't get a lot of views, no, don't worry about it. Leave it. Do another one. Do another one. Link that playlist. We watched Tanya's videos when she started, right? She started with no subscribers, zero. Zero. And she didn't even want family and friends, even though she was doing it. She just did it. It was for her. Yeah, she still does it.
I know.
Gee, so you guys, the fact that she's opened it up to the Triple R family, be on her, because she didn't want to for a long time because it's her space, right?
Yeah.
And
I
you
just
guys,
didn't want you guys to feel obligated to follow me because I didn't want that. I wanted real followers, right? Real people who want to interact and share in a space. So I'm also very private. So the fact that I actually open up and share all this, it's different. It's different when you feel like everyone that you know is watching you. It's completely different than when people that you know are watching you. So it's just a growth thing. I'm getting over it. Yeah.
she's grown so much. It's fun watch. We all grow. We're all supposed to be growing, right? And I'll tell you this, for couples, if you're growing together, it's amazing. It's just amazing how that works. Okay, so I was going somewhere with this on this playlist thing. Tanya started doing it, and then all of a sudden she started getting followers. Boom, boom, boom. And they're going back and watching her old stuff from even like a year or 2 years back. And the views are going up. And then now she's getting more, it feeds it. So it's just like, you guys, it's exactly like what we do in our blogging. Like we're adding pages and adding pages. You're like, I don't have traffic. No, you're building up the foundation. You're building the content up so when people go see it, there's more to see. If they have more to see, that gives us more value. It's not a chicken and the egg thing. It's just the way it is. You got to be persistent and have grit and just go at it every day. Marry and do everything to the outcome. Don't marry the outcome. Trust the process, right? Trust the process. Trust the process. Also, when you're putting this stuff out there, you're going to attract more and more things in. And that got so many views that my Google AdSense went over $100 a day. It jumped up $100, jumped up to $200, jumped up near $300 a day because I got a surge of traffic based on something that was done in the right training. Like I didn't do it. I did it because I wanted to teach how to write something. These things build up. So when you get this like nice little idea, and you may not even know, right? Like you might just like be putting the brain. Everybody, you like the way this looks, and it reminds you to take your brain. You're going to replenish it when it's empty, right? So you count them down, you take them, you put them back in, and you can maybe take a picture. This time I put lemon. Whatever, and the think that anybody's going to be attracted to that, but some people might look at that and go, oh wow, that's kind of fun watching them take them down, watching them go through things. You guys, interesting things all the time, and it might not be interesting to you. That you might not think it's interesting to you, but you're wrong. There's so many people, right? There are billions of people. We all have similar things together. We all have similar quirks. So it's better to, worst case, no one sees it. Best case, one person sees it, or a million. It generates any type of traffic or reciprocal traffic, right? And you can just take any idea like that, right? So I can look around and say, wow, I want to try that, right? And the thing too, like the brain, like something that Tanya I probably should do, and this is cheesy. So if it's cheesy, Tanya doesn't like to do the cheese so much. That's me. We're right pools where we stay. And I should take the brain or the youth or all the products and land them out in the lawn chair like they're a human and take a picture posing it in a lawn chair and saying, greetings from the pool here. I should do stuff like that just because it's like, what is this guy doing with these snaps? And just because it's product placement. right? It's just product placement. And these are things that I know as a marketer, and yet I get ideas. I just need to execute them. This is the last thing that I want to cover. And then Tanya, if you have some more stuff to come on, otherwise we're gonna get ready for marketing, even maybe a little bit early if you guys are ready. Execution is everything. You get a great idea, great ideas. Everybody has great ideas. Only execution is going to make them into reality, and the reality is what's going to give you the reward. You know, I wish I could share every idea that I have in the world, but if I execute it, I do. So it's one thing to have the idea. You need to execute on it and get a pattern of execution. And don't be afraid. I mean, it just takes some time. You're investing some time. You're posting it out there and see what it does. By the way, we have so many products and product placement things that we can do. I think we just share them on a regular basis. And Tanya, I think what we start doing on Saturdays, no matter what we're training on, is share ideas. You and I'll just come up with ideas. We'll just share them with everybody to help get you guys going in the process. Okay. And I think that's what we do. There's my audible for the day. I need one.
There we go. That's good. That's fine. Yeah, my biggest takeaway, since we're ending this now, my biggest thing for you guys is just to make sure you batch film so that it doesn't waste time in other areas. Just like I said, write down your ideas. Then when you have time, and like I said, I do it on Sunday when I don't work, after my, on my church and all that, as I take time for myself, and I just kind of write down ideas, because this is a hobby. It's fun for me. That's what it's been anyway. It's been fun. And so I just like write down the ideas I'm going to film for that next time. And I'm always planning ahead, right? Way ahead. So then I'm writing down the ideas, like I'm taking out what shots I'm going to get, what talking points. And so then when I sit down to do it, I have a couple of hours on one day, I do it and I film them all and I'm done. And it's just, because you can edit, you can do other things, upload while you're doing other things as well. So just make sure that you're using your time efficiently so that it doesn't suck you in, because it definitely can. So that's just my idea. Just make sure you have your running idea to-do list and that you get prepared for it so that when you sit down to do it, you're doing it and it's not taken away from other things. And whatever day works, you guys, there's no wrong answer, whatever day works for you. But just make sure it's not during the times when you should, the best to be on the phones. There's those prime times. So make sure that you're not doing it then. That's what I have to say about that.
Guys, marketing should be everybody's number one priority.
Yeah.
It makes, and I'm going to, you know what? I'm going to drop a tease, and I have something that I wanted to launch the marketing today with, and I'm going to cover that with everybody. Tanya, are you good?
Yeah, I'm done. I'm done, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you guys need to do it, we can do it as many times as you guys need. I can show different ideas. We can do different things. So
we're going to be teaching this stuff on a regular basis. So, we always say, don't miss Tuesdays, don't miss Saturdays. You guys, we're building this up for full-time income. That being said, here's my tease. We have a new process coming. It's going to be a simple change overall, but it's going to enhance everything that we're doing. And so all this stuff that we're teaching you for social media, the YouTube channels, the stuff we'll teach you on Instagram, Pinterest, you guys, we have a whole lineup of things. All of those are going to help benefit you with the tools we're going to be adding to our performance blogging systems. You guys, the PBS are about to get a rocket ship added to them to help you guys grow bigger. It's a rocket ship in multiple areas. And one of the biggest areas is income for you to make. So I'm going to go segue into this for the marketing, and then I'm going to stop the recording, because you guys, we do not ever broadcast, because, well, first of all, YouTube will take it off because we're showing things that has account information. So we're going to go into that part of our day, which is our marketing training with our top recruiters. You guys are going to be taking this over. But let me just rephrase a couple things on the marketing. So marketing, for those that are in RRR247, marketing has two overlaying circular motions to it. So everybody should be doing the PBS. That's how we add the right students to teach what we do on everything. But for those that it's too complicated for, that are having struggles with computers and technology, we have the lists. All right, you guys know what that means. So if you are an instructor here, you should be focused on PBS, and the list is a secondary option. For those that it's, because you know what? Some people got to learn more before they can do more, but we want them doing the marketing, and they can do the marketing for the list. Wonderful. Okay. Now, if they're outside, you guys remember, we have a bubble around RRR247. We cover things in that bubble. We get to roll things out, and we put a lot of things out on YouTube. We put our trainings out there because we have a lot of people that are watching them on big screens. They catch up on it later. They put it in the background while they're doing work, and we like that. But our core trainings are never on YouTube. Our core trainings are on Zooms in a private network. And Monday nights at 9 Eastern, we have our instructor call. It's a Zoom, right? And you have to come in through a certified way. NDAs are signed, and we cover things. This Monday and every Monday after that, just like we do, that is a business call at a higher level. If you're not an instructor in training yet, get with your instructor and tell them you want to be an instructor in training. Even if you're not ready to do V-marketing yet, you need to hang around it and see how it works. V-marketing, though, is the aspect on how to build that income. Because I watched one of my students literally have a $600 income day yesterday, and she's one of my newer students, and I am so proud of her because that's what this is doable. And she's just doing what she's taught. And a couple days ago, she goes, Rory, I should have been doing this 3 months ago. And that was one of the biggest compliments she could have given. Yeah, you should have, but you weren't ready. Like you had to get comfortable with things. We know it works, right? And those that take advantage of it are nice because we're reaching out to people that want what we have. Now, the internet's getting dynamically larger. All right. We're going into Web 3.0 technologies, some of which we already market. And I'm going to tell you, based on my knowledge of what's coming in the future, things that are being programmed, things that aren't ready yet, but things that are coming, we are in the right place at the right time all the time anyway. But getting us in content, you guys, content marketing is getting bigger and bigger. I already knew it was big. I've been doing it since before 2097. Okay. I was told it was crazy. That's not going to work. They don't know anything. Content is key now. And we are so far ahead of almost everybody in what we do in this. We're going to keep it going. But we got to stay on the cutting edge with newer things. That's coming here soon. So I'm going to tell everybody, don't miss Tuesdays, don't miss Saturdays, especially right now, because we are launching something incredible. And it's also tied with our launch of our Brain Food Academy program, guys. The registration system's about done. The notes are awesome. You guys, we paused and redid it 2 times because we saw problems in the potential future and we want to get running on that. And I have a very big aspect that when we hit it just right, we're going to be glad that we're ready and robust enough to go big without hiccups. Because, it's very robust now. Things are great. Jim, we're not doing Q&A right now. Get with your instructor on that. I'd love to do that, but we got to get right over there. I'm at the top of the hour. I'm going to stop this. You guys, if you are on YouTube and you want the V-marketing training, you know where to go.